Welcome to the world of magic wonders.
Today's story is Flat 12. Bee Shadows Behind the Door.
It was a peaceful morning in Krishna residency until a scream shattered it. The domestic help gasped, voice trembling. "Oh God, Raya ma'am." Inside the bedroom, Ria lay still on the bed, her legs barely visible, a teacup untouched, and a faint blood stain soaking the sheet. Inspector Verma had seen many crime scenes, but this one felt personal in a strange way. Standing over the bed, he glanced around. Behind him, Abhinav stood frozen. Inspector Verma muttered coldly, "No sign of forced entry. Let's start with the people inside." Everyone had a story, but no one had an alibi. Sunita snapped, "Don't look at me like that, Inspector." Rajiv sat silently, holding his book. Abhinav fumbled for words. She was just a guest, but her eyes held something more. Clutching her phone, Nidhi stammered, "I wasn't even home. I swear." Amidst all the noise, a single fingerprint whispered the truth. Inspector Verma picked up the teacup with gloved hands and murmured, "Whose print is this?" A voice from the past gave the investigation a new breath. Zara spoke over the phone, concerned. "Ria told me someone from her past was back." She sounded scared. He walked in like a stranger, but the air knew him. Inspector Verma's voice echoed off-screen. "Bring him in." Quietly. He spoke little, but his memory missed nothing. Rajiv simply turned a page in his book, lost in thought, yet fully aware. Years of silence boiled over. Sunita shouted, "Don't you dare say I wanted her gone!" Abhinav backed away. "I didn't mean it that way." Behind every closed door, something still whispered. Nidhi walked down the hallway. Behind her, a shadow. Kunal, barely visible, watching. Science stepped in where emotion had failed. Cold, methodical, and unforgiving. "I just came to talk, not to harm her," Kunal claimed. Inspector Verma stared silently as every word crumbled under the weight of truth. Grief came slowly. Guilt came faster. Abhinav collapsed on the sofa, eyes red. Nidhi placed a hand on his shoulder, comforting, but unsure. One slip of the tongue, one memory too exact. Kunal rubbed his forehead. Verma raised an eyebrow, silent but alert. The CCTV didn't lie, but it didn't scream the truth either. A faint figure, a shadow, a mist frame. And yet, everything mattered. What was once shared in confidence now became evidence. Zara's voice was tense. "She told me she thought someone was outside again. She was scared." A mother's fear spoke louder than her son's tears. Sunita said sternly, "You didn't protect her, Abhi." Abhinav whispered, "I tried, Ma. I did, hidden not in cleverness, but stupidity." A rusted knife pulled out from a potted plant. Inspector Verma looked away, not surprised, just disappointed. She didn't kill, but she had seen more than she claimed. "I saw him the night it happened," Nidhi whispered through tears. Ria's pendant lay quietly on the table. One door had always been ajar. They just never noticed. CCTV caught it. Kunal slipping through the service stairwell, face partially covered. He said he was asleep, but someone had seen him awake. Inspector Verma questioned, "What time did you hear?" The witness replied, "Around 2:40 a.m. She made a call, not knowing it would be her last." She sat near the window, voice calm but nervous. "Please, don't come tonight," she said into the phone. He never moved on. He just moved closer. His wall was covered in clippings, photos, messages, and in the center, Ria, what once bloomed, had long since withered. Ria shouted, "I can't live in this lie anymore." Abhinav yelled back, "Then leave." A whisper in the corridor. The elderly neighbor told police, "I heard steps and a voice, not Ria's." Technology spoke where humans lied. "It's Kunal's print," the technician confirmed. Inspector Verma nodded grimly. She feared Ria, but hadn't wanted her gone. In front of the home temple, she closed her eyes and lit an oil lamp. A shadow made more sense than a confession. Verma stared at the evidence wall. Red threads crisscrossed like tangled fates. The camera remembered what people didn't. Kunal, Huri, night, backstairs. It was all there, just not in plain sight. He hadn't killed her, but he had already broken her. He sat slouched by the bed, Rhea's photograph beside him, a broken frame, and a hollow look. Buried beneath clothes and memory, her voice still whispered. Verma read aloud, "Sometimes I feel like someone is always watching." They sat across the cafe table. "Ria, why now, after all these years?" Kunal smiled faintly. "I never really left. The lock was never broken, just ignored." Inspector Verma inspected the rusted latch. It had been opened from the inside. She knelt to the floor, sobbing. "I never wanted this." Rajiv placed a gentle hand on her shoulder, silent and steady. It wasn't a story of hatred. It was obsession. And obsession always leaves a trail. "I didn't want to kill her," Kunal cried. "I just wanted her to listen, to stay." His hand trembled. The glass tipped over. Ria pointed, "Stay away from me." Kunal grabbed her arm. "You said you'd never forget me." The room shook with tension. She stumbled, not out of fear, but betrayal. Her body hit the bed. A gasp, a flicker of the lamp, and silence. Inspector Verma sighed. It wasn't hate, it wasn't greed, just a man who couldn't let go. No voices now, just a cold teacup, a closed photo frame, and an empty room where time had frozen. Kunal was handcuffed. He didn't resist. Inspector Verma watched, wordless. Her voice was gone, but her silence stayed everywhere. A garland hung gently on her photo frame. A diya flickered beneath it. She tried to wipe it away. Not the blood, but the memory. Again and again. She had only come for a visit, but was leaving with a memory etched forever. Rajiv stood at the door, saying nothing. He was never charged. But guilt doesn't need a courtroom, just a mirror. The file lay open beside his tea. He took a sip and whispered, "Some stories never end." She had typed it. "I think he's outside the house again." But she never hit send. He didn't cry. He whispered her name again and again and into the darkness. No footsteps, no voices, just dust and echo. Flat 12B didn't close with a lock. It closed with the weight of everything left behind.
For more such videos, please visit our channel Magic Wonders. To learn more, visit our website at www.magicwonders.fun.